This week we embark on an angler extravaganza in the North Georgia mountains. We battle some monster trout from a secret Appalachian location and chow down on the banks with the top chef of Ted's Montana Grill. Anglers and Appetites is coming right up. I do the catching, and Phil does the cooking.
I can be taught.
Well, sort of. From mountain streams to deep blue seas and everything in between.
Here we go. Hey!
You see, here's how it works. I love fishing, but I'm not the country's greatest angler, but I do know how to find the best, and oh yeah, they make me look good. Now Phil, the big guy, he's the appetite. He may not be the best chef, but he learns from the best and of course, eats from the best. And as you'll see, we don't waste our time. Off to the mountains. Today we're fishing on the Sequoia River in the North Georgia mountains, home to some massive Alaskan-sized, Montana-sized trout. And you know, speaking of Montana, our guest today is going to be CEO and co-founder of Ted's Montana Grill, George McKerrow, to show me a few extra fly fishing skills.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to have a good time eating because I have the executive chef of Ted's Montana Grill. We're going to talk about some of their specialties.
Nice.
And I didn't know this, but there's a difference in taste based on the size of the trout.
All right, I guess we'll find out. We'll start with the big ones though. It's always fun to fish with someone who genuinely loves the sport, and my friend George McKerrow is just that. George is the co-founder of Ted's Montana Grill and a fishing buddy of Ted Turner himself. But what I learned on this excursion is that he is pretty darn good at it too. George fly fishes all around the world, and the tiny little Sequoia River in North Georgia remains one of his favorite spots.
You know, these fish are smart and they're spooks. So, for example, I can tell you that there's actually fish. See this line of rocks?
Yeah.
There's fish laying up all in there.
All right.
And they're in the middle of that run, right in the middle where it gets dark, and they like to be right in the heart of the run, and they're looking for food that comes down the river. And in this time of the year, they're probably at the bottom feeding, right? Because it's not real warm up
When
top.
do they come up top?
Well, they'll come up when it's really warm and when there's a hatch. So what happens is there's bugs that actually are born in the water, live on the bottoms of rocks, and then they emerge, coming to the surface, and they hatch out of their little egg sacs.
right.
And then they fly up. When that happens, the fish are going to be on the top water. So we clear to go in the river?
We're clear. Watch George's form as he's putting this in the water. Back and forth, right along the edge of the pool. Perfect.
There he is.
Hey, there we go. Way to go, George, number one.
I want to keep the rod up high and keep him out of those bushes over there,
Okay.
and let the rod do the work.
Putting on a show. So you got to keep this taut.
That's right. If you let it slip, that fish is gone. So you want to keep your rod tip high, see him take off, let him run. Don't fight him, because they're strong fish, and he's using the current to his advantage. Now this fish wants to go downstream big time. Come here, trout. There we go. See, nice guy, he swam right in the net. There he is, beautiful rainbow trout. There he's gone. That's not the way you're supposed to release them, but I know.
Now, I got a question. We got Phil Proctor who likes to eat trout. I heard something, I saw something about catch and release here.
Right, absolutely. I mean, listen, we want to protect those big healthy fish here in our Georgia rivers and in every river. The art of catching the fish is those big fish aren't the best eating fish anyway.
All right.
And if we all took the best eating fish, the little 12-inch, you know, to 14-inch fish, we wouldn't have any big fish to catch.
All right, well, George, I've got to feed Phil, so I'm going to let you explain this to him that we can eat these massive
Yeah, I
fish
know.
we're catching.
I understand.
All
He's
right.
probably nervous about it, but I promise in the long run it's going to be okay because they're going to live to fish another day, and that's what this is all about. the excitement of catching a big fish like that. My adrenaline is pumping.
Oh yeah.
And you know, you can see, and now it's your turn to catch one.
I got it. He just showed me up. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Ah, I see through my crystal flame that there is a meal, and I'm not exactly sure. I see trout, yes. I see some steaks. I see my eyebrows are on fire!
You see, I've been fly fishing, but my technique is far from perfection. So today, George set me up to learn from the best, big game hunting and fishing guide and the manager of the Sequoia River Properties, Jeff Tart.
Trout are looking for three things. They're looking for cover, they're looking for concealment, and they're looking for a place where they can feed. Unlike conventional types of fishing where the lure pulls the line from the reel out the rod in the direction of the cast, with fly fishing it's different. The line is weighted. That's what loads the rod. The weight of the fly line is what causes the rod to flex, and that's how you cast the fly line. Okay? Yep. Raise that line off the water. Drop the rock tip. Drop the rock tip. Hit him.
Yeah. Oh. I had a huge fish on there. I mean, I was fighting him. Everybody was cheering me on. I pulled it back so hard, I put it in this tree, and I don't know what this tree's doing here. It's a sign. It probably shouldn't be there in the first place, but anyway, Jeff helped me out again. I'm gonna keep trying. Got to give George another shot at this too.
I think we moved to the right. Not positive. That's a nice cast right there, buddy. It's got fish all over it. Keep that rod tip down. There it is.
Loving this, guys. Oh yeah, he's coming to me. Okay. Oh yeah, dance for me. Oh, it's pretty. Nice. Good grief. And we've got ourselves another rainbow here.
This is the hen. See the difference in the face shape?
Okay, yeah.
She's been nosing on the bottom. Look at her. Got some cuts on her noses. Yep, this is female.
So she's got the cuts on the noses from being in the bottom?
From nosing the bottom. And a lot of times, rainbows are spring spawners. So if she gets to nosing around, like she feels like she wants to red out, they'll do it.
Can I hold her up real quick?
Absolutely.
All right, if she'll have me.
All right, it's George's turn now, so I'm gonna take a little break here because I'm exhausted after that. He's probably gonna one-up me, but let's see what Phil's doing with Chef Chris back at the house.
If you're out on the water all day like I am, you want to not only look good, you want to feel good. That's when I ran into the guys from Pescatoware. What they did is they got together with some of the best guides from all around the country, the guys who fish all day. What's necessary on a shirt, what's not, the little hooks and dangles, they don't need them, so they're not on here. Pescatoware is good for me. I'm loving it. I'm wearing it out there. Had this on all day, I still feel great. You'll like it too.
This is Ted's territory. A place where things are inspired by the big sky spirit. And where you'll know, after your first bite, that it's something you'll find only at Ted's. Ted's Montana Grill.
Nestled in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains awaits an extraordinary resort experience, a destination that attracts generation after generation of guests who return to renew, rejuvenate, and reconnect, all amidst 1,400 acres of North Carolina's most pristine mountain playground. Find your adventure, focus on family, or completely unwind and get away from it all. Experience a new take on tradition at the historic Highhampton Inn.
Back on the banks, Phil heard the news about the catch and release in these waters, but he had a plan already in place with both surf and turf in mind.
This is a Phil-sized burger.
Enter Ted's Montana Grill executive chef and the inventor of the award-winning salt and pepper trout, Chris Raucci.
My friend, Chris, and I love your name, Raucci. Chris let me wear his coat. Now, I had to tell you, it fits perfectly. Whether he gets it back or not, well, that depends. Right. Okay, tell us what we got.
Well, we've got a bison Delmonico, which is one of our steaks that we have. We also have several other cuts. You can get them both in, beef and bison. And then we have our bison hamburger, which is one of our specialties, bison cheeseburger.
Okay.
And we have 20 different varieties of ways you can get the burger. We're
20 varieties, ways to get the burger.
Yes, sir. And we're going to actually do a cheeseburger as well as a bison New Mexico. So
New Mexico?
Yes, got Anaheim, grilled Anaheim pepper, pepper jack cheese, spicy tomato jam, a little bit of guacamole.
We going across the country.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's jump on the steaks, man.
Okay.
What are we going to do?
Well, we've got the grill going. At Ted's, we use a flat top grill. We're out in the wilderness right now, so we're gonna do a char grill. Got our bison Delmonicos. We're gonna season them up with our Ted seasoning, blend of different spices and seasonings, and pop them on the grill. While those go on, then we'll put the bison burgers on after that.
Okay, now see, a lot of people always talk to me about like spices as well as opposed to seasoning and stuff. What do you like?
You know, we try to keep it as simple as possible, like with the salt and pepper trout, just, you know, let the flavor of the meat and the protein come through.
Okay.
So with our blend here, we have, it's a, you know, a seasoning salt, then we add garlic salt, onion salt, black pepper, and kosher salt to it.
Oh, so you can tell me the recipe?
Well, not the quantities.
Oh, okay, so people are always trying to keep me away from everything. But anyway, all right, so our grill temperature needs to be what?
We're going about medium high right now on this. With the bison, you know, this is a Delmonico, so it's got a little bit more fat content in it, but you can notice with the burgers itself, it's a pretty lean cut. So hence why we use the flat top, because we want to try to keep all that moisture and all that fat in. We actually cook with these burger domes here at Ted's on the flat top.
Burger dome?
Yes, this is actually going to go over top of the burger. It's going to help steam it, help kind of seal in a lot of the juices, keep it nice and juicy.
How many burgers can I get in there?
You can get one.
Okay, we'll work with that one then.
Right on.
All right, so now we're gonna get to the burgers, and I am a burger man.
Okay.
All right, so these are bison burgers.
They are, yes sir, and I'm gonna go ahead and season up the other side of the steak here. And these are exactly bison. We do have beef as well. Again, the bison's a little bit more leaner. You can see it's almost, you know, pretty much all meat. There's not a whole lot of fat content in there.
And so you say that's a healthier burger?
Yes, sir.
And that's a good sized burger too.
Yes, 8 ounce.
8 ounce burger. Okay, so back over on the grill. This is terrible. Well, I'm looking at our steaks. They look like they're doing.
Yep, let's
Should we go over? You want me to do that?
Absolutely.
I can
You can do that? All right,
I can
cool.
flip with the best of them,
right.
all right? Oh man, that is a, and you know what? That is a nice, look at that. That is a nice sized piece of meat. Yeah. Talk to me about searing.
Well, searing, we're going to try to get as high as heat as possible to sear it. It caramelizes the outside of the meat, seals in the nice juiciness and the flavor. The caramelization gives it a lot of flavor on the meat as well.
Y'all feed people like this all the time?
Yeah. Anaheim pepper.
Look it up.
Little sweet heat going on.
That's a man-sized burger. And I know just a man that probably could handle it.
And then we're going to finish our New Mexico with some guacamole.
Now what I'm trying to figure out is how am I going to get that onion ring, the french fries, and the burger in my mouth at one time? I guess that's my problem.
Monofilament line called 2X that we're fishing with today. It's barely more than a thread. So it's so important that you've got this great big fish on this little bitty line that is not really that strong, right? I can snap it pretty easily. So what you want to realize is that if you keep it tight, then that fish is always going to be at tension and you can reel it in. If you give him slack and it goes like this and he snaps it, it's gone because he gets that little bit of tug.
Hit it.
There he is.
Yeah.
There he's got a fish.
There we go.
Tip up, tip up.
All right, nice
Oh, yeah.
fish.
Oh,
Keep
yeah.
the rod
Oh, yeah.
tip up. Go to the reel.
Reel. Let go. Let go of your hand. Let go.
Okay.
Let go. Now.
He's got it now.
Keep him tight. So he's trying to get under the rock.
Yep. We want to keep him this side of the rock. Back him up.
Okay.
Change your angle. Change
Okay.
your angle.
Either you got a jumper or a swimmer.
I think it's a swimmer.
I think you've got a swimmer. I had a jumper.
Press. You do a lot of spotting. So you don't want that real hand.
You look good out there.
Brown trout.
Brown
Brown
trout.
trout, nicely done.
He's taking it.
Steady pressure.
is strong.
Brown trout, king of the river.
Oh yeah, he took it.
Yes, I do.
Man, this guy's strong.
You got a fight on your hands, my friend.
Yes. Yeah! All right.
Fish.
Woo! Now I can exhale.
All right.
Good grief. That was so much pressure. Oh,
He's
man.
a beauty. That's a big
Woo!
fish. Let me tell you something, my friend.
Yes.
Brown trout are the kings of the river, and that's one of the biggest brown trout I've seen here.
Oh,
That's a
thank
big
you,
fish.
George.
That's a beautiful fish.
Yeah, I want to get
Good grief. Yeah, I'm afraid to hold him myself. Jeff, what are we looking at here?
Sir, that is a mid 20-inch brown trout. I would say that's 23, 24 inches long, probably about 8 pounds. Biggest thing is we want to breathe him,
Okay.
get him right in the current.
Holy cow.
He's going to bleed a little bit. That's okay. He's fine.
That's a big fish.
George, this
Yeah,
is a
that's right.
Montana-sized fish.
Yeah, that's more than a Montana-sized fish, my friend.
This is a Georgia fish right here.
Yeah, that is a beautiful. Listen, that's a fisherman's dream right there.
Look at this. Holy cow. Phil, you cannot eat this fish. He's going back. All right, we got fish for you.
That's pretty cool. A rainbow trout at about 21 inches and a brown trout at north of 24, 25. 8-pounder, that's a big fish. And there he goes, off
There he
healthy as
goes.
can be.
How are we going to beat that,
I
George?
think
We're going
that's
to
one
keep
of the-
trying?
I don't know. That's one. Here's yours.
Your turn,
that's
my
one
friend.
Of the big, that's one of the biggest brown trout I've ever seen in the North Georgia River. That is fabulous. And you hooked it, and you kept it, and you fought it. So let me ask you. I asked you earlier. How's
Yeah.
that adrenaline?
It's still going. It's still going. I'm not even feeling the pain in my wrist right now because I'm so thrilled.
Well, let me
Man.
tell you something. This is why I tell people over and over again. We have a secret treasure in the rivers of North Georgia that you wouldn't expect to find, and that's some incredible rainbow and brown trout fisheries.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. What a great show.
Understatement.
Let's go see if we can get one more.
All right, 2 more, 3.
4, 5.
Huge. Hey everybody, time for a fishing break, and good news, this one doesn't take you far from the river or the fish.
Located along Scenic Route 197 just north of beautiful downtown Clarksville, the Mark of the Potter has become a legend in the world of folk pottery. Situated right along the majestic trout-filled Sequoia River, this shop found a home in the late 1960s in the old Grandpa Watts grist mill. Working parts of this mill remain in the building's foundation, and the corn-fed trout still haven't left.
We have some of the biggest trout in a river, free trout. You know, we call them our pets, our pet trout. Browns and rainbows, and sometimes you can spot a native brook in the river too. We have to frisk them when they come in to make sure they don't have fishing rods. You can feed these fish, and you can look, but don't touch. Throw a little bit of food in there and it looks like a bunch of piranhas going after something.
So no fishing for me at Mark of the Potter regardless of what I could catch there, but Michael set me up with the store's lead potter, Matt Henderson, who had something else in mind for Phil. See, if you can't feed them, make them something to feed on.
I've been making pots for about 38 years now, most of it right here at Mark of the Potter. I'm going to make a platter. I'm going to make an oval platter. I'm going to make this in 2 pieces and assemble it. And the bottom of the platter is just a flat disc of clay. So that's the bottom of the platter right there. That needs to set up. And this is going to be the rim. What I'm doing right now is pinching the wall and lifting it up while the wheel spins it around. And sometimes I give it a little more character by just doing this to it. So they're ready to be attached. So I'm going to cut the rim and then take this round rim and just kind of pull it into an oval shape. And I'll put some handles. Press my stamp into it. And that's my mark. Phil, I hope you have some good trout on here and you enjoy eating off of this platter.
If you're out on the water all day like I am, you want to not only look good, you want to feel good. That's when I ran into the guys from Piscataware. What they did is they got together with some of the best guides from all around the country. The guys can fish all day. What's necessary on a shirt, what's not. The little hooks and dangles, they don't need them, so they're not on here. Piscataware is good for me. I'm loving it. I'm wearing it out there. Had this on all day, I still feel great. You'll like it too.
This is Ted's territory. A place where things are inspired by the big sky spirit. And where you'll know, after your first bite, that it's something you'll find only at Ted's. Ted's Montana Grill.
Nestled in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains awaits an extraordinary resort experience, a destination that attracts generation after generation of guests who return to renew, rejuvenate, and reconnect, all amidst 1,400 acres of North Carolina's most pristine mountain playground. Find your adventure, focus on family, or completely unwind and get away from it all. Experience a new take on tradition at the historic High Hampton Inn.
Now David and George went out, they got a couple trout, catch and release. Good thing we had a backup.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the fish menu at Ted's.
Okay, over here we have the pecan-crusted trout that we're going to be cooking up, as well as our salt and pepper trout. The coating, it's a panko breadcrumb. We've got some pureed pecans in here, as well as whole pecans, so that way you can visually see the pecans, but every bite you're going to get nice pecan flavor. And then we finish it with panko, which is a Japanese breadcrumb, a little bit coarser breadcrumb, so it should get really nice and crispy for us.
That'll be good. Now, we're going to put this on a frying pan? We're going to put it on the grill?
We're going to put it on a frying pan. We're going to put it meat side down. Might just hit just a little bit more olive oil in there.
Now, Chris, when you were coming up with the menu for Ted's, and especially when you start thinking about seafood,
yes, sir.
What were some of the things that you wanted to put on the menu?
Well, you know, the trout is very indigenous of Montana, so with the name Ted's Montana Grill, you know, it only seemed fit that we have a trout dish on there.
All right, so now what do we got?
Now we're going to come over here and put our salt and pepper trout on. The salt and pepper trout is a little bit more healthy. It's just going to be lightly seasoned with a little bit of fresh lemon and salt and pepper. And it's topped with the roasted corn and tomato salsa, which we have already made.
Now, I was having a conversation with George and David, and they were telling me about size does matter when it comes to trout. Explain that.
You don't want to eat the larger trout. The smaller trout tend to be a little bit more tender. They're going to give us a nice 8 to 10 ounce portion, which we're looking for. That's what we use at Ted's. It just eats a lot better. You know, the older ones tend to be a little bit tougher. If that, you know, this is going to be nice and tender and flaky.
Look at those fillets. Now, you know, all that needs is to cook a little bit more, and then I just need 2 pieces of bread.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice trout sandwich.
Yeah.
Little lemon, fresh lemon. Just kind of brighten it up. A little bit of salt and pepper on there. We do it skin side first, just to get the skin side really crispy.
Chris, that looks wonderful.
Absolutely, it looks really good. Yeah.
Being out here, man, look at that.
You know, nice crispy skin on the trout. And again, we're just going to let this sit there for maybe 30 seconds to a minute, because as you saw, it was pretty much all the way cooked on that first side. And then we're just kind of, you know, get a little golden brown color on that next side. All right, let's come back, take a look at this. Got some wind going now.
Wind, fish,
wind,
burger,
fish, sun.
You know.
So we're looking nice and good. That was almost perfect timing on there. Couldn't get any better than that.
Yeah, Chris, you're the bomb.
See there?
Look how you did that. I think we actually got something going here. That looks really, 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 really good. Well, we're all about plating it up.
I hear you.
And speaking about plating it up, I wonder if David and George are having any more success out on the river.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, nice dark brown.
Yeah, he's got a lot of color.
Well, he's a big fish. He's not happy. He's a beauty. These are gorgeous fish today, boy. Now you know why North Georgia fisheries are so amazing.
Woohoo! Nice,
There's a
George.
beauty. That's a big fish. Let me tell you, as a fisherman, my favorite fish in the world is catching a brown trout, and this is a
Look at the color.
giant brown trout.
How come this one has so much color compared to mine? I mean, is it just different browns?
Your
Look
fault.
They're very closely related to the Atlantic salmon, and so that fish that you caught has a very, very pale silver sheen to it, whereas this would be normally what these fish would look like in the fall.
Now, George, we're only catching trophies.
You know what?
This is
These fish are
incredible.
all over the rivers in North Georgia, about 22 inches long, and that's a beautiful fish. There he goes. Back to live another day. Sorry, Phil.
Chris and I are gonna plate it all up. We're getting ready to have Phil's Fabulous Feast. That's it. David, I'm about to feed you and George. Y'all been complaining to me all day. Y'all about to get fat and happy, okay?
Come on, Dave.
All right.
Sit down, make yourself comfortable. Sit down.
Oh, my man, my man. I want to just thank Chef Chris. He and I got busy. We were cooking it up on the grill. David, who you want to thank?
I want to thank George and Jeff for teaching me how to fly fish the right way here in North Georgia. Absolutely incredible, guys.
We had a great time. And you know, I always say, throwing a hook in the water is fun, but eating is better. Bon appetit. Let's get busy.
Bon appetit.
All right. Salute. I got nothing to salute.